the beeps, the sweeps, and the creeps.
Yes. Oh, that's so good when he does that too. And those sound effects. Oh, I can't do them, but man, those are just so good.
Oh, yeah, he did it really well.
He's not the same guy who was in like Naked Gun or...
I think he was.
Was it really?
I think so.
That guy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's so good.
He's just really good with his mouth.
Who goes there?
Oh, it's you. Come on in. Welcome to the Scumm Bar.
Welcome to
Scumm
the
Bar. Oh, come on. You do it.
Welcome to the Scumm Bar, where... No, you can do it.
No, you go ahead. I want to hear you do it this time.
Oh, okay, fine. Do I say it like you?
Now you do it however the
Okay.
heck you want to do it.
Welcome to the Scumm Bar. I'll see what this could be like you. Welcome to the Scumm Bar Podcast, where we talk movies, video games, pop culture, papaya, and everything in between. With me, as always, is my... Wait, who am I? I have to be me now.
You are you.
With me, as always, is myself, Anth0z. And with me is my host, because I'm the co-host of
Mattbrush.
Mattbrush. How are you doing today?
Today's opposite day.
Is it?
I don't know.
Because then what?
We're going to release this on November 5th.
How do we do the rest of this?
Remember the 5th of November, the day where everything is not.
Okay.
And that's the only way I can think of that.
So if they want to play this, they actually have to rewind it to listen to it? Welcome to
Welcome. I like that. It's punctuated. You got a good sound there.
Thank you.
Anth0z, I feel like we don't have as much to talk about. I don't want to go right into the intro. Let's just sit for how you been? How you doing? How you doing?
I've been doing.
How you doing?
I'm doing.
You doing?
I'm doing.
You doing? Everything's good in life?
Yeah.
You happy?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. You know what I did? I'm going to tell you a little story about my personal life because I thought it was kind of funny.
All right.
It was out of nowhere. My coworker needed to...
So sorry.
You don't have to apologize. There's only one thing that makes an accent worse, and that's apologizing for it.
Okay. What?
So my coworker, he asked me randomly that he asked me that he needed help moving some tree stumps into his truck.
Whoa.
So which I was like, okay, sure. Like, I'll be like, I had nothing to do that day. I was like, sure. So I go over there, and on the way to go get these tree stumps, he said, hey, we got to go get a chainsaw. Oh, okay. Because apparently these are big
Because
stumps.
I have to make the tree stumps first.
Well,
and then
he was like, they're big stumps, so we're gonna cut them down. Okay, go to the store to buy a chainsaw. He's never bought a chainsaw before, so we're going, oh, okay, so we'll figure this out. So we're going through the chainsaws. I've never bought a chainsaw before. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But he's kind of going through the motions, figuring it all out, getting the right oil and whatnot, which was 2-cycle oil, and chainsaw oil.
2-cycle oil.
2-cycle chainsaw oil. Yeah.
okay.
So we got all that. Got to the place. Stumps are massive. Like,
Yeah.
they're huge. They're
Okay.
big ass stumps because this person had cut down a tree, I guess, and they were just trying to get rid of the wood. He wanted the wood for his fire. So we're there, and he's got this chainsaw, and he's never used a chainsaw before. So now I'm reading the instructions to him of a chainsaw and how to figure it all out. And he's just like putting the chain on and taking the whole thing apart and putting it back together and tightening it all up and all that stuff, and then putting the gas in, the oil,
Jeez.
and then revving it up, letting it be idle for a while and whatnot. And I'm just like, okay, well, let's do this. So then he's like got the lock off, and he's like and taking the stump down.
It was good.
It was good. He got about 2 stumps out of the 11, and then the saw blade seemed to be dull.
Yeah.
Or at least that's what he was saying, is that the blade got dull. So I was like, oh, okay, so we got like 2 stumps done. And then we realized that just half of the stump was still way too heavy. So it was so hard to carry just these. We did it though. We carried the 4 pieces of the 2 stumps up to his truck. They were so heavy. I've never sweat so much just carrying something.
Wow.
I've sweat from running. I do a lot of running, but this was massive. Like, I got to the truck and I like tossed my body and the thing into the back of his truck, the stump piece.
How did the truck handle it? Holy.
It was fine actually. Surprisingly enough, the truck was fine with the weight. But he had a big truck, so.
Okay.
But man, I was just sweating like crazy, and I was like, I stunk. I stunk. But you know what? We found out if you take a stump, you put it on its side, and you roll it, that's a lot easier.
I was gonna say like that could have been an option.
Yeah.
But that also depends on like what part of the tree is like making the stump. Because if it's too close to the roots, then it's all jagged.
No, it was all nice cylindrical stumps. It was like your typical stump that you might want to do something with, make a table or a chair out of.
Okay.
So it was pretty interesting. But we rolled them, got them in the truck, got them home. That was 2 days because he asked me to. Yeah, we never finished on the first day, so
like
he
a
asked me
stump per
yesterday
day.
as well, and we finished it up yesterday and got it done. But wow, are my arms tires? Can I tell you that?
Wow.
My gosh, they are ridiculous.
I think you
So-
said that joke last week.
I did, but I took out the first part this time to make it
Okay.
make more sense.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But no, I've never done that before. So interesting tale of woe that I had to tell you today.
Cool.
Do you have any stories?
None woe-like.
It's fine. We don't normally do personal stories, but I just thought that would be funny to say. So
Okay. Yeah. If I think of one, I will let you know. I'll just blurt it out.
it's an open forum here. You know,
it?
you can speak freely. You can say whatever you would like.
I'm pretty hungry.
Oh no, you can't say that. You can't say that.
Okay. We'll just edit it out.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, moving on.
All right.
Our pirate joke.
Oh, I can't wait.
Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What did the pirate say when his wooden leg got stuck in the freezer? What did the pirate say when his wooden leg got stuck in the freezer?
Brr, it's cold.
I thought you would guess this one. He said, "Shiver me timbers."
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
A small part of me was like, he might get it. He might, but you didn't. You still didn't. One of these days. One of these days.
I can't wait till I get it.
Yeah.
Because it'll be like, I'm actually a pirate. Oh, that's my phone.
Oh, what's up?
Oh, that's my phone.
Oh, you getting a call?
Nope.
Oh, just 2 texts in a row like that?
Probably.
Wow.
It's probably Discord.
Discord? Discord that.
Discord. What?
Discord.
Discord
the phone. Discord the
Oh,
phone.
I get it. Discard the phone. It's like, oh, did you ever watch Dumb and Dumber? Please say you watched Dumb and Dumber, because I really want to say this
Yes,
scene.
I've seen Dumb and Dumber, yes.
Okay, so you know when who's that guy? He was the chef that eventually gets fired in Friends. No, he doesn't get fired, but in Friends, like in Monica's kitchen, he's the one who's like,
I know.
you know,
He's got the
like,
weird voice.
call him Dragon.
Yeah.
That guy.
Get off
the phone. It's so good.
Oh, I didn't realize that was Dumb and Dumber. I didn't mean to steal your joke there. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
love
Yeah. That's a fun. That guy is hilarious. He's also in Seinfeld.
He's probably like in every sitcom and every
He
movie.
is.
You just don't really see him.
He is.
Yeah.
He's hilarious. I don't know his name, but he's funny. Anth0z.
But Mattbrush.
What we be drinking?
We be drinking 3-hour tour, I believe is what it's called, with fragments of toasted coconut or something.
Toast me coconut.
Toasted coconut.
You put the lime in the coconut, and you toasted coconut porter,
Check it all about.
and you shake it all about. This is from the company Bridge Brewing Company in North Shore, Vancouver. Is that what you said?
Ooh, I didn't say it, but you did.
That is a local brew.
Local.
We are looking at a hoppy... Wait, what? Oh, 3-hour tour is a creamy, robust porter that is balanced out by toasted coconut flakes. Who wouldn't want to be stuck on a Gilligan's Island tour with this beer? A 3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour.
Oh, is that part of the theme?
Yeah, it's a Gilligan's...
Oh,
Here on Gilligan's Island.
I think I only remember that part of the song.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, you know, 3-hour tour? That was Gilligan's Island.
I never actually watched the show.
Oh.
I heard the theme a couple times because it was in the middle of me transitioning to another channel.
Oh.
Yeah, that's all I remember.
Interesting.
No, isn't there whistling in that theme song? I'm pretty sure there is.
I don't know. There probably is. Probably a little ditty is probably in
A
there.
little Diddy Kong?
A little ditty.
Just a Diddy Kong?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
So, my brain went somewhere else, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't make any sense, but it's fine.
Wait, clink me.
Yeah, clink, clink.
Wah. Clink.
Uma Thurman.
Actually, that sounded more like, whoa, that's...
Coconutty.
Wow.
Oh my god. So,
That's like chocolate milk.
something about me. I really like porters. I like long walks in the rain with a porter. And wow. I gotta say, if we're gonna start grading these things, this so far has been my favorite. 3-hour tour.
This is nice.
I love porters,
like
but
it.
coconut porter, you were right. You nailed it. Chocolate milk is what that tastes like. That's so creamy. It's so nice.
Yeah.
Man, you have sold me. It's a limited release.
Oh, I gotta go buy more then.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Oh, that is really good, guys. I hope you all try this if you ever have a chance. If not, I'm so sorry, but that is fantastic. I'm gonna have another little sippy doo.
Numbers. Yeah, whenever I think of delicious foods, I think of Ninja Turtles 2: The Secret of the Ooze. When they're trying to entice Tolka and Rezar to eat their little like donuts, where they put the like the counteraction to the
Reminds me of Harry
to the
Potter.
ooze, and they're trying to like, just
Have 'em go.
coerce them like numbers. And so, whenever I think of food, I see food on the table and I think, ooh, numbers. But like I don't say it out loud because
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. How does that song go?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Heroes in a Half Shell, Turtle Power.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I thought I knew it, but I don't.
Well, now you do.
Now you know. All right, so moving on.
Yeah.
Ye old news.
All right. This just it.
That was almost Star Wars.
Or it was also the witch from the Wicked Witch from
The Wicked Witch.
from the West, but from Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, Wicked Witch. Oh, if ever there ever a witch, there was. The Wicked Witch is one because of the wonderful thing she does. Ding dong, the witch is dead. The Wicked Witch, old witch. Ding dong, the Wicked Witch is dead. She's gone where the goblins go below, 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 below. Sorry, it's in my head. I can't stop. I don't stop till you get enough. Okay? Ye old news.
Yep.
Ye old. Oh, I can do it?
Yeah.
News.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so just so you know,
Yep.
on the topic now, we just said it last week, we're saying it this week, I am God, and I can make things happen with my mouth. So I said, we are going to remake Pirates of the Caribbean. I said, we're going to do it, and it's going to happen. And guess what? It's happening.
Did you say that?
Like 2 weeks ago, we were talking about things we'd like to remake and series we'd want to remake. And I said Pirates of the Caribbean, we should be remaking.
Oh.
And guess what? They just announced they're talking about remaking Pirates of the Caribbean.
Wow.
I think Disney's listening.
They really are listening
I
to
think
us.
they're listening to us. It might be your Google machine that's doing it, but Disney is listening.
Do a better X-Men movie. Sorry.
A better X-Men? You don't want to see the new Phoenix one? Rise of the Phoenix.
No, I don't know if I want to see it with this current universe or this just I don't know. Something about this just rubs me the wrong way.
I get you.
Yeah.
I understand.
Okay.
So Pirates of the Caribbean reboot in the works. We don't know much about it. There's really not much to know at all at this point. There's just that they're working on they're thinking about a reboot, and then they're going to get a scriptwriter to start working on it. If I had a recommendation for Disney, if they are listening, please look no further than Monkey Island, like they did originally, and remake the first story, which was technically Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl. Remake that story again. I don't know if they're going to use the same actors or if they're going to do totally different universe or whatnot.
Yeah.
But I say remake that story again. Very similar to the Curse of the Black Pearl, but you can do your own thing with new characters, a little bit of like new actors, and you can probably change the story a little bit.
Yeah.
Make it more about the island, I think. But yeah, take Monkey Island. Please look to Monkey Island. It's a very well written script that's funny. It's full of adventure, lots of action in it.
And Scum.
It's got Scum. It's got a Scum Bar in it.
Yep.
And
That's us.
and I think it's a really good place for them to start. Of course, I love that IP, so I'm telling Disney to look towards that. I also really like the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie, so I'd like that.
Okay.
I don't want them to fall into the same traps they did. They had something really good going for them there, and they messed it up. So,
Although I'm happy that they did go through with everything because I really love the music from probably all the movies. Actually,
yeah, no, even At World's End has good music.
Oh,
I hate
At World's
them.
End, that's my favorite album.
Yeah.
So the same with my fiance and I, we absolutely love that album. They reprised the theme, but I think they kind of made like a secondary theme. So so he's a pirate from the first album.
He's a pirate.
Yeah, that one.
He's a pirate.
He's still a pirate. So the
Fall in love with what does he say? The father. He's like, is this it then? You've thrown your hat in with a rogue.
oh,
He's not a rogue. He's a pirate.
yeah. So the he's a pirate theme is basically the one that shows up throughout the whole album. The ba-da-dum bum ba-da-bum bum ba-da-bum bum ba-da-bum.
What do you do?
He's a pirate.
What song is that?
He's a pirate.
I don't know what you're
It's
saying.
track 14.
Oh, I don't know what you're doing.
He's a pirate.
I never heard that song before.
He's a pirate.
Oh,
Jack.
Oh, what? Jack?
Jack Sparrow.
Oh, who's that?
He be a pirate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I gotcha.
anyway,
Mm-hmm.
in At World's End, they still use that. They utilize that aspect, like that riff for the theme.
I'm just doing it so you can do the other part.
I just can't think of it off the top of my head because I'm hearing so many things in my head right now. But anyway, so that's part like that's not actually part of like the main riff, but that's in one of like the most epic songs on the album. It's called "Drink Up Me Heart Is Yo Ho."
Oh.
I absolutely love that song, and I would hear it.
Is that the
over
end of
and
the
over
first movie where he's like, drink up, me heart is yo ho? And then they go, and the credits roll?
I think no. This
With
actually
really
takes
bad
place
eggs.
with really bad eggs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they-
this takes
yeah,
place
go.
maybe halfway through the movie.
I see.
I don't know,
Okay.
but otherwise, this album, like the music is just
The music is incredible in those
so
movies.
good. And it's not just I think with the second movie, the album itself was pretty much just like a rehash of the first one, from what I remember. So it was kind of just like listening to the first one, but like a little bit of difference. So it was almost what was the point?
Right.
But then at World's End, just like this newfound theme that they put into it, it just like rebranded like the whole Pirates of the Caribbean music, and
I like
just
the,
wanna hear it live.
I'm just going back to the first one with the music, but it is so complex with its music. But like, there's do 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 do. That's the same song though, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. But that's what I mean, because they use that so many times in the first album, but
Yeah.
when they came to the third album, they didn't use it as much. So it was really like a brand new album.
Yeah, I don't
with
know.
just like paying homage to
It's
the
all
first.
blending in my head, but I think that's actually the mark of a good album is when everything kind of blends together. Like, the same
Yeah.
thing happens to me with Lord of the Rings. A lot of the songs just kind of blend all together.
Right.
And I think it's how you want the music to kind of go sometimes. But
Yeah.
Anyways, a really well done soundtrack. I don't know how we got into the whole soundtrack thing, but you're right. I need to listen to that World's End again because I remember the music being good.
Yeah.
I remember not liking the movie, but I remember liking the music. So
Do it.
that's the one with the spiral ships in the whirlpool, and there's the fight scene on the ends of the mast.
Yeah.
Because there's actually two songs that are happening at the same time as that too. I believe there's a battle song, and then maybe what you're talking about is one of the original pieces is happening at the same time there. But I believe that there's two things happening because I think also Will and what's her name are getting married.
Elizabeth?
Or maybe that's the second one. I don't remember. You're wrong.
No, I think because then
There's a lot going on in that scene.
yeah, and Captain Barbossa is the one that's marrying them, right?
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
In the
yeah.
middle of also fighting.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like in the middle of a giant world.
Yeah.
Just a little. It's a little crazy. I mean,
Yeah, it's a bit much.
props to them for coming up with crazy ideas, but
Yeah.
it fell flat.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. There's a little game. There's a little game coming out here soon. The game is called Fallout 76.
Yeah.
Fallout 76. Now, I don't really care about Fallout, but I'm just saying Fallout 76 because a lot of people are probably talking about it right now.
So did 75 come out recently?
Yeah, this is the 76 Fallout game to come out this
Okay.
year, actually. So it's
Okay.
it's all updates. But no, so 76 is supposed to be more of an online experience. It's Fallout 4's engine, but it's done online like Elder Scrolls Online, so similar to like kind of like World of Warcraft MMO kind of stuff. But it doesn't look good. I'm just saying, I'm not going to sugarcoat it at all. I think this game looks like crap. I think it looks bad. It's the Fallout 4 engine,
Yeah.
but they've removed NPCs from the game entirely because
Oh.
this game is the theory that like everyone kind of makes the world seem big by playing online.
Right.
But there's like enemies in the game, obviously. You still fight enemies, but there's no like NPC-like characters. So it's like, imagine Fallout. Have you played Fallout before?
No.
Have you played an Elder Scrolls game before? Yeah, you played Morrowind or Oblivion or Skyrim?
Yeah.
Okay. Just imagine taking out all the NPCs. So that's the life right there, right? So it seems weird when you just make it MMO because, as I'm sure you know, if you're playing an online game, people don't move like they move in a game. So then you really ruin that really quickly. And from what we can see from the streamers playing right now, it doesn't look good.
Okay.
Another thing too is you can customize your character's look and appearance at any time in the game.
Yeah.
Now I know that might sound like a feature, but that's totally immersion breaking. Like
Yeah.
just being able to pause. Hold on, I want to change my face.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense at all. That's not how you make a game. You're supposed to be immersed in the experience. If anything, I'm actually very pro removing control from the player and making it as more realistic as possible. And that's a little controversial because a lot of gamers like to get quick action happening
Yeah.
right away, but I love to like drip that action to you slowly through games, and I like to develop games to do that. So
Actually, it's funny. I was just gonna mention how. So with the whole NPC thing, like in Ready Player One, I know it's not a game, but in that whole world, like there were NPCs because that's what helped make. It's kind of like what helps you actually figure things out, right? Like having NPCs, because like if there's a storyline, like you need to get info from somewhere. But
I love that in the book when they talk about going to like Lord of the Rings world and stuff like that. Like, that'd be fantastic.
But then at the same time, in Ready Player One, they were able to change their costume or their look, I think, at any time, right?
Yeah, I think you could in Ready Player One. Some MMOs have a variation of that, but usually what you would do in a large, massive multiplayer online game, that's MMO for anybody who didn't know.
Yeah.
Usually there's an NPC that you would go to that's like a cosmetic NPC. You go to them and you can change your hairstyle. Yeah. Some, in my opinion, good games would make it so that it's split up. There's a hairstylist, for example, that would just change your hair. There's a, this is probably not a dermatologist, but it'd be something that could change your skin color. And then
It's a dermatologist.
It's a dermatologist.
Definitely. Yeah.
And then there'd be some kind of surgeon or something that would help you change like your body type and all that kinds of stuff. And then there's probably somebody who can help you change your race and then your class and all that good stuff to customize it. But they at least make it within the story so it makes more sense. But and then other games that block you from doing certain things. You wouldn't be able to change gender or class or race within the game.
Yeah.
And you're talking about mainly, and just physical appearance is all you're really talking about. So, yeah, it's a small thing. I just noticed that there was that you could change your character at any moment. I just thought that was kind of dumb. And so the engine is Fallout 4, but there's no NPCs. The graphics obviously have to be dulled down a little bit because it's an MMO now. Yeah. So it's really just, what are you making in the end? What is this game? This is a clear case of a game that needs more development, but they announced it at E3 and said, hey, look, an online Fallout game, and also Elder Scrolls 6, which probably won't come out for many years to come. So we're just announcing it for some reason. Yeah. So now they're like, oh, we got to release something so the audience isn't like waiting forever for just titles, because that's all we got at E3: title card. So we need something tangible. So they're releasing this way too early, in my opinion, and it needs to be in the oven to bake for another year before it comes out, because it's soft and gooey and still raw,
and it needs to rise.
I can't do the Dark Knight thing.
That's
what I was trying to do. I just don't have that voice, so I can't really do it.
Okay. I was actually picturing Star Wars, like Rise Jedi or Rise Sith, Rise Darth Vader. I don't know.
Rise. Do it. Rise, my apprentice.
Rice.
Rise, my apprentice.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Bake the rice.
The rice is done. The Republic. The Galactic Empire.
Do it. Do it.
Do it.
Do it. The rice is done.
Give it to me.
The rice is done.
Hashtag
the rice is done. Do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get on a Spiderman and swing.
I've been playing a lot of Spider-Man, actually.
Oh,
I'm almost done that game, but I've been holding my tongue until you play it, so...
Okay.
When are you going to play it?
Well, I did get a chance to play a little bit at my friend's place.
Oh, good, yeah. So you saw the swinging mechanics of that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good, hey?
It's fantastic.
It is really fun. I just wish I could have... I wanted to venture out more outside of Manhattan.
Okay.
Because you can only stay on like the one island, right? From what I remember. Yeah. I only played for like a portion of the time, but swinging around was obviously just really, really fun. And I didn't really want to fight anybody because it was taking away from my swinging time.
Aww. The combat is so good in that game. The swinging is also so good.
Yeah. No, I did actually utilize some of the combat, which I thought was really cool.
You utilized that combat?
I utilized it.
How well do you utilize your combat?
I utilized it so hard.
Oh, wow, good.
Yeah. So, because everything is so like mirror image of what New York really is. And so my friends, they had just gotten back from New York. So they were there for a trip, and then they were saying that when they were playing the game that they were actually able to visit all the places that they went to when they were in New York. Yeah. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Like, so I wanted to find my friend's place because we stayed at her place in just off of Astoria, Queens? No, Queens something. I can't remember now off the top of my head. Anyway, yeah, she's off the Manhattan Island. So I wanted to go there, but then, the water held me back. The suit's just not waterproof. No.
Although, fun little trick, actually, before I tell that story. So, I thought it was in Central Park. Yeah. And I played a lot of the Spider-Man games.
Okay.
And one of the first things I do, especially the free roaming ones, is go to Central Park. So in this one, I was running in Central Park, and I was like, this is small. And I was like, And I've had that feeling in a lot of the Spider-Man games. I'm like, they couldn't get the grand size of how big Central Park really is.
Yeah.
Until my friend's like, that's not Central Park, you're in Hyde Park. And I was like, oh. So I like swing out, and I like eventually you see, and you go, whoa, like they got it, man.
Yeah.
They got it. It's good. I mean, it's still not it's not a 1-to-1 scale of New York, obviously, but it's very good.
Yeah.
I would say, because I know my ratios so well, I would say it's like a 1 to 5,
Okay.
or something.
Yeah.
But
That
I
sounds
don't know.
about right.
It's pretty dang accurate. I'm sure in years to come we'll look back and go, but right now it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Really good.
I like it.
But no, so I was gonna say, you were saying you couldn't swim, and like you can swim obviously, but there's like a boundary, there's a boundary wall. So if you keep swimming out, eventually Spider-Man stops and you can't swim that way, and then you have to go back. Yeah. So there's a glitch you can do, and I don't know if you can still do it anymore, but we could do it at the time. My roommate was telling me about it, so I was like, let's do it.
Yeah.
And this is a perfect example why this is a good game. The physics are so fun that I actually stopped playing the story. And I don't do that very often in games, but I stopped playing the story, stopped fighting things. I just went to a building, and there's a really tall building in the game that goes on like a diagonal curve. It goes up, and it shoots out to the water near Staten Island. And you can like angle it almost perfectly over there. Or Liberty Island? What's the island that's got the Statue of Liberty on it? Staten Island?
Staten.
It's Staten, yeah. Liberty Island is Grand Theft Auto, I think.
Okay.
So anyways, the building kind of like shoots out that way towards it.
Okay.
And he was telling me, if you do that thing where you put your webs onto the edge of the building and shoot yourself out.
Right.
See, if you do that and then roll, and you constantly roll, you will shoot farther than you're supposed to go, and you actually break through the boundary.
What?
And then you glitch out rolling on the water. So I was like, we gotta try this. So we spent like an hour just doing that, like testing it out, and it worked like immediately. I did the rolls. And the thing is that sometimes it would glitch out when you hit the water. Sometimes you would make it for a bit, and then it would stop rolling, and you'd fall in the water, and then you'd have to go back. But eventually you break the boundary, and we could. There's the ferries going in the background. You can go through the ferries and like glitch through them and stuff.
Whoa.
Like see like the terrible models
Yeah.
of them and stuff.
Sweet.
And you can apparently make it to Liberty Island, but it was taking forever with the rolling that I just stopped. But,
Staten Island.
Or, sorry, Staten Island.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No, I'm sure it's Staten. So anyways, so you can go out there, you can glitch it, or you could at least. I think you still can, but there's a lot of videos of it online.
Cool.
But I took video of us doing it because it was really fun. But it was just, that's the mark of a good game, when you're willing to just stop playing the real game and like use the engine of it, because the engine was so fun. So,
yeah. I bet the person who created, like not the storyline, but like the mechanics of the game must be so thrilled to have people just like trying to exploit it so much, because like they're having so much fun just using those mechanics.
There's a video online of the Spider-Man 2 video game creator on PS2. And that was like the one everyone loved the swinging for.
Okay.
And he was playing the new one. There's a video online of him playing the new one with the guy who made the new one, I think. And they're like talking about it and stuff. I haven't seen it yet, but I was like, oh, that would be so cool to see their opinions together on the whole thing. One thing I wish, last thing I'll say on it, one thing I wish is that when you're swinging, if R2 was your right hand and L2 was your left hand, because in the PS2 one you could switch it to that in the options menu. Okay. So then it was really cool. You'd be like,
okay,
yeah, kind of like. I just really like the idea of puzzle swinging, because it makes your travel so much more interesting. You're trying to like think of how to travel over there instead of just going from A to B. You're like trying to think the whole time how to get to B. I see. Yeah. And that's how Spider-Man goes, and that's why the swinging is fun, is because you're a bit of a puzzle on the way to get to B, right? Right. But when you do R2L2 swinging, it just makes it so, I don't know, intuitive, fun. Yeah. And also Spider-Man 2 had a lot of helicopters that you would swing from. Oh, yeah. And that made things really interesting. And I think this game has helicopters, but I haven't been able to swing on them yet. Okay. And they're very scarce. So that's about all I gotta say right now. Cool. But I haven't beat the game, but I put about 30 hours into it. Cool. I'm taking it really slowly. Yeah. So really slow. That's over since it's been released. So. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Okay. All right. Do you have any old news?
No.
No? Okay. No. Let's move on to the answers of the day. So our question from last week was favorite remake that is better than the original. Right?
Yep. That's
okay. So I wrote this one, The Fly. The Fly. Do you remember the movie The Fly?
I don't think I actually watched it. Oh. I'm pretty sure I did not watch it.
This is Jeff Goldblum, classic Goldblum in the 80s.
Is he the Fly?
Yeah, he's the Fly. I think it's 86. It's a remake of a Fly movie from, I think, the 40s, I believe. Okay. I think it's the 40s, might be the 50s. And the basic story is a scientist who's trying to make a teleporter device. And he makes a teleporter device that can teleport him from teleporter A to teleporter B. And he's building this device, but when he gets in the teleporter to test it on a human, which is himself, because he can't find a human to help him test it, a fly gets into the other teleporter. And when they travel back through, he ends up becoming a fly, while the fly ends up becoming a human. So it's this weird little thing, right? And then the movie ensues. Now the original saves this as kind of kind of the twist for the
Yep.
ending. Like, oh my god, he's a fly.
Yeah.
And he takes on everything, and that's sort of more the ending of the movie for the 40s version. Spoilers for a 40s horror movie.
Yeah.
Anyways, the Goldblum one though. The Goldblum one it almost starts. It doesn't start with that concept, but it does it pretty quickly. It gets to the meat of the bones pretty quickly.
Okay.
And then ensues from there and uses, I think it's what's his name, a Cronenberg, for the effects. And it's really gory, really gross effects, but so well done. The movie has so much heart to it that you're watching this happen, and it's gross and scary, but it's also like so dramatic and intriguing, and you love the character. Like, Goldblum is so good. This is probably Jeff Goldblum's best movie, I think.
Wow.
And Gina Davis is the love interest in it.
Cool.
She does so well in this movie too. So the two play off each other really well. It's a fairly short movie, and you can watch it really easily. Like, I put it on one time for my girlfriend and I, and it was just sort of like, just throw it on, and we're just like glued to the TV.
Wow.
By the end of it, you're just, oh my god, like, it's so good. So that's a great movie to watch. So if you still need to watch a movie and you missed out on some Halloween ones, The Fly remake, bam, fantastic movie.
Okay.
Cool. Why don't you take one actually?
Am I just saying the next one on the list?
No, you want to pick one of yours.
Oh, I see. Okay. So I actually wrote both of these because I was really happy about them. Well, one of yours is overlapped with one that I just realized.
Go for it.
But anyway, the ones that I wrote down, so Star Trek.
Yep.
I actually did watch all the original movies, even though I didn't watch them growing up. I watched them, I think it was maybe...
Growing down.
Yeah. When I was growing down, I was getting younger. It was a Benjamin Button kind of life, and I just thought, like, well, you know what? While I'm going down, I might as well watch Star Trek.
2009 one?
No, the originals.
Oh, sorry, gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right. Sorry, I don't know why I misunderstood that.
A couple of years ago, so I didn't watch them growing up, but a couple of years ago, I just wanted to see I wanted to have the background knowledge.
Yeah.
So I watched all the movies, and they were enjoyable. They weren't like some other... I actually tried to watch the Mad Max movies, and I couldn't...
The originals?
The originals.
Yeah.
I tried to, and I couldn't. But with the Star Trek movies, even though I think they're older, right?
Star Trek
maybe...
Older Mad Max? Depends.
Maybe not. But watched all of them, and they still had they still gripped me with like their characterizations and everything. So, but anyway, so the remakes with like Chris Pine and what's his name? Guy from Heroes, the guy who plays Spock.
Yeah, I don't remember his name. I don't remember.
Okay.
Fortunately.
Actually, wait. Is it even right to call this a remake? Because there's kind of some continuity in it.
It's a reboot, pretty much.
Okay, because Leonard Nimoy's in it, and it almost seems like there's just like this time.
That's just a way to transition the old Trek fans into the new Trek fans, right? I mean, it's definitely a reboot. They're like, here's the new Spock, here's the new Captain Kirk, So
yeah,
it's pretty much as much of a reboot as you can get, especially the moments when he goes, "At least I got my bones," and then he like winks at the camera. It's pretty much as much of a reboot as you can get.
Okay. So I really like that one. And as far as non-movie remakes, I think this counts with Super Mario 64. When that came out, I was glued to it.
Well, that makes sense, yeah.
I
read that, but yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
It doesn't really follow any other like previous Mario continuity per se. I mean, it still has the same concept where it's a plumber goes in and out of pipes and whatever, has to save Peach from Bowser in different ways. But I just remember like finally getting to play Mario in this 3D world, running around, having some new attacks, new movements, new sounds. I don't know, just like everything about it was like I could really get immersed in it, and I could play it over and over and over again. I loved playing it. Actually, I think what I really liked was what I thought was really cool. One of the levels where you have to jump into picture frames in order to get into the world. Yep. So specifically the one like the water level where the higher you jump in the picture frame, the higher the water level is in that world.
No way.
So if you jump lower in the frame, then the water level is lower.
That's not the one with the eel, is it?
No.
Oh,
this is what it's got, like those water striders. They're kind of like those spiders.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So I felt like things like that. I'm like, wow, this is so cool.
That's well done.
Like,
I didn't even think about that.
There's like more. It's like there's more depth to it. And then there's the whole thing where being in like the snowland where if you lose your hat, like somebody else could take it. And I can't remember. Did the snowman wear it or something like that? And racing penguins.
Yeah, racing the penguin and getting the penguin's mother and all that. Yeah.
It was just
fighting the big bomb on top of the castle or on top of the mountain. I mean,
yeah.
King Bomb or something, or
Well,
King Bomb.
You have to face the big Wampa. The Wampa Stompa, is that what it's called? Like, you know, that big brick wall.
Yeah, the giant swamp.
Yeah. Although, actually, wait, the bomb, you probably have to
The big bomb is
you
a
throw
big
it.
red bomb, though, with a white mustache.
Yeah. You have to run around and you gotta throw them. That's right. Yeah.
And the big chain chomp guys.
Yeah.
I just remember that level, the first level, because I didn't play much of Super Mario 64, but I remember the first level quite well.
Yeah. Oh, it was such a fun game. It still really is.
And Peach's Castle. I remember Peach's Castle, and I remember the eel.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know why the eel sticks in my head so well, but it does.
I think the one thing I was really sad about was that you couldn't actually use Yoshi for anything. You didn't see Yoshi until the very end.
end.
You beat the game and then you see Yoshi.
Didn't you have to get all the stars?
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. But no, that was a really fun remake. Yeah. Your turn.
That's a good idea. I didn't even think about that as a remake, but yeah. For me, I put down Doom 2016,
cool.
which I don't know why I haven't talked about it more on the podcast, but
Is that with The Rock?
No, this is I'm talking about the video game, not the movie.
Oh, so
the movie you're talking about is from 2002, I think, with The Rock and Carl Urban from Lord of the Rings.
I love Carl Urban. Oh, I met him.
You met Carl Urban?
Yeah, he was here to. Oh, just you know what? Okay, he was filming that TV show Almost Human.
Oh, okay.
So that was
almost Urban.
Yeah. So that was filming here, and so I met him at Whole Foods. Just bumped in. He was actually shopping with his family. He had just moved there.
Did you say Riders of the Riddermark?
I did. No, if anything, I probably would have made a reference to like Hercules or Xena, because that's when I first remember seeing him when he was super young, and he was a character in Xena the Warrior Princess, or both that and Hercules. I don't know, one of those. But
Eomer though. Eomer.
It's
so good.
He's in tons of stuff.
He is actually like he's in Star Trek. He was Bones.
Star Trek. He's in Dread. Like I don't know.
Oh yeah, you're right. Dread, yeah, he's really good. He's done a lot.
Yeah, I really like what he's done, and he seemed like a really nice guy too. Because when I talked to him, it wasn't one of those like shrug off kind of situations. It was like he was actually having a conversation with me.
Oh wow.
And then at the end, like I asked if he didn't mind taking a picture, and then he kind of looked around to make sure there wasn't anybody. Like he probably, because he was with his family, he didn't want to have too much time taken away from being with them, and didn't want to draw other like paparazzi or whatever. There's people coming around. So looked around and said, okay, yeah, sure. And we took a quick picture.
Aww.
Like I'm like, oh, this is sweet. Like
that's amazing.
My first like big actor conversation meetups or whatever. I don't know. It was really cool.
Carl Urban.
Yeah.
What a catch.
Yeah. Thanks, Carl, for the conversation and for the photo.
Yeah, good actor. I have nothing bad to say about him. And in fact, the Doom movie, I'm a huge Doom fan, so I'm a Doom head, to say. And that when that Doom movie came out, everyone made fun of it, but I loved it because I just loved seeing Doom anything, right? So, it's not very good, but Carl Urban does his job and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson does his job, so
nice.
They do well.
Cool,
but it's a funny ass movie.
The Urban Rock.
I'm talking about Doom 2016, so more than 10 years later, more than a decade later. So this game is essentially a remake to the first one. It's in the lore, but it's like a reboot of the whole series.
Okay.
And really well done. I don't want to get into the details too much because I think we're going to have a podcast about it at some point because I love this game. It's got to be in one of my top 10 games.
Yeah.
But they just nailed it on the head as far as Doom goes.
Okay.
Soundtrack especially.
Cool.
It's fantastic. But that one's good. And then the last one I want to talk about, we've talked about before, is the It remake in 2017. Yeah. So this one is just so good. And I think we already talked about the merits of why it's so good, but the remake of Pennywise being done now by Bill Skarsgård, and he just does a fantastic job. Tim Curry did a really good job, but Bill Skarsgård is so close to the book that it's scary. Like it's going through the audiobook and then thinking about Bill Skarsgård. It's like that's exactly how Pennywise should be.
Cool,
very well done.
Okay.
So props to that remake team. Awesome. They did a great job.
Yeah, that's actually one that overlaps with one of mine. And then one last addition to this, although I guess we would need to clarify, but the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, would you consider that a reboot?
Yeah,
that is a reboot,
definitely,
right? Because it doesn't actually follow continuity from the previous Batman movies and things like that. Yeah. So the Nolan Batman movies.
People. Yeah. I agree, but I disagree. I hate Batman Begins. Okay. I shouldn't say hate, but I don't like Batman Begins.
Well, I think we did have this conversation.
Yeah.
I didn't like Batman Begins as much, but I definitely like Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
But Dark Knight was my favorite.
I'd agree. I think Dark Knight Rises gets a bad rap sometimes. I think it's actually a really good film.
Yeah.
But Dark Knight is just great. It's really, really well done. They're both a little long in the tooth, I'd say. Yeah. They take themselves a little bit too seriously, but they're good.
Yeah.
They're definitely good.
Yeah. And then, one one that we kind of vetoed out, but like I would say it's an honorable mention anyway, just in case. But Blade Runner 2049.
Oh yeah, that's really well done.
It was a really well done movie. I liked watching the original.
I wouldn't say it's a remake.
No, I wouldn't say either, and that's one thing that I thought we should clarify too.
It's almost like a category for like best sequels or something that are better than the original.
Yeah.
And that's actually a really good sequel. Yeah. I saw that one and wow. They kept the universe but made it like infinitely more interesting. So really well done.
So, but in terms of defining what a reboot is versus a
remake?
sequel, or I assume remake would be the same as a reboot, though, right?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
Or at least I don't know. I mean, this terminology has been made up by the fans instead of anybody real. There's no like official. I'm making the terminology now.
Yeah.
So. In my opinion, a remake is when you're literally remaking the whole movie. So Halloween, like I mentioned on last week's podcast, so Halloween, the original one from the 70s, and then Halloween, the Rob Zombie one in 2009, that's a remake because it was literally remaking the movie.
Yeah.
A reboot, I think, is when you take something like Star Trek, like you mentioned, where you're saying this is we're remaking the movie, but there's a little thing where it connects. And now it's in the same universe, but we're rebooting it. So, I'm trying to think of another example for that. But let's say Harry Potter. I'd say Fantastic Beasts is in the realm of a reboot because it's saying like, here's another one in the same universe, and we're rebooting the franchise. Hopefully, this Newt Scamander character will be like a Harry Potter, and we can keep it going. And if it doesn't work, we'll just scrap it. So it's rebooting the series.
I see.
In a sense, but that's actually not the best example. But that's kind of where.
Because I feel like that's more of like just a very, very much earlier on prequel. Right, because all those kind of events, like it'll include Dumbledore, it'll include all these characters that still exist.
These terms can go together though too. You could say reboot or a prequel. You could say both, I guess.
Yeah.
Like a reboot doesn't necessarily have to be remaking anything. A reboot could just be making the series keep going. Okay. I guess. But again, that's just my opinion. That's just how I see it. But
okay.
Yeah. I know there's another example out there, but yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Well, sure.
Okay, let's move on to your topic.
All right. So, I've been thinking about this recently because whenever I wake up on Saturday mornings, it's different from what it used to be.
Oh, what? What are you missing?
Saturday morning cartoons.
No way. I'm missing them too. Could you imagine if you woke up on Saturday morning and you actually just sat cross-legged out on like your carpet, turned on the TV with like, your hand, turned on the TV, sat and stared up at the big tube screen TV and like watched Saturday morning cartoons?
And yeah, that pretty much was me too, except that I had the addition of having my dad make pancakes like pretty much every Saturday. So I would have pancakes while watching Saturday morning cartoons, and it was the best way to spend my Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
And then now...
Your jammies.
I don't know. You know what? I was never one for wearing pajamas outside of my bed.
Oh, really? Oh, I wore jammies in the morning. I don't now. I'm like super against that now. I'm like, I dress as soon as I leave my bedroom. It's like, I'm leaving this bedroom fully clothed, dressed. But man, when I was a kid, jammies.
Jammies.
Yeah.
Okay. We jammies. So on the topic of Saturday morning cartoons, there's also... Okay, so that kind of reminds me of TGI Fridays. So, Saturday morning cartoons was like... There's like a strip of cartoons that you could watch back to back to back on like several networks, but probably maybe like two or
it's
three.
It's usually how it caught up with Dragon Ball Z or with Pokemon, was because they would play episodes that were consecutive.
Probably like on YTV or something like
that. Exactly.
Yeah.
YTV was really good for that because it was consecutive. So
yeah, and with TGI Friday, so Friday night would be Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Boy Meets World, and maybe one or two more other things. So it could sometimes it would last like 2 hours, sometimes an hour and a half. I can't remember exactly. Like they might have a couple back to back. I just those are kind of the times that I really, really enjoyed watching TV was when there was like a strip of shows to watch.
And to stay in the story. Like you were in the story of the show though for a while, which is nice.
Well, yeah, that too. But I don't know if that's even really a thing anymore. I know that I read a little while back that the last Saturday morning cartoon, like I'm using quotes because it was the last 2D animated cartoon that supposedly was going to air on Saturday mornings, and it was done, and now it's onto like CGI stuff. So I mean, this still kind of changes the pace of what a Saturday morning cartoon is. I think if you actually search on Google Saturday morning cartoons, you will find it references like the 90s specifically. It doesn't even talk about like
80s, 90s, because like you could still watch like Transformers, G.I. Joe, and Ninja Turtles and all that stuff. It still is a Saturday morning cartoon as well.
Oh, okay.
In the 80s, right? So I mean, I think that bled over into the 90s, and then the show's updated, right?
Yeah.
It depends how old you are. But for me, it was much more 90s shows. Pokemon was the big one. Dragon Ball Z was the big one. And Sailor Moon were like the big 90s shows that everyone was watching.
Yeah.
That blended into like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Monster Rancher and like...
Oh,
yeah, you remember that?
Monster Rancher.
And like card captors.
Genki from Monster Rancher. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's lots and Digimon, I guess, and stuff. And like all of that
cool.
kind of blended in. But that's when I was growing up a little bit.
Yeah.
But still... yeah, but Saturday morning cartoons. That's I would say 80s, 90s for sure. Like those 20 years, that's where it was huge. That was a big thing. And yeah, you're right. I think today Saturday morning cartoons do not exist only because the term doesn't exist anymore. Because you can get media now from anywhere. Yeah. So it's just so different. It's so different now. But I do miss that. It was like that was your church.
Yeah, well, it pretty much was, right? Yeah, you get up in the morning and then, like for me, it would start. I think my main show started at 8 and they would go until like 11 or something. But I would try to wake up early because 7 or 7:30 they'd show a couple of shows that were really good, but I just couldn't wake up in time for it. Because there would always be, I'm sure like Ninja Turtles was on Saturday morning, but I specifically remember, I'm sure many people won't know this one or a few of these because I've talked to a few. But there's Eek the cat. So he's a purple cat.
Okay.
And like he talks and he's got like a high pitched voice.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what the purpose of the show was, but I just love watching it. And that was back to back sometimes with the terrifying thunder lizards. So it's there's like 3 dinosaurs that wear like skull and crossbone like shirts and like bandanas and they got like rockets and guns. I can't remember exactly, but
what the heck?
That was Saturday mornings too. And then there was what's the shark?
Sewer Sharks or Street Sharks.
Street Sharks. Yeah. Street Sharks was in there.
Yeah.
Oh man, just
there's also Biker Mice from Mars.
Biker Mice from Mars.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was in my head and I was like, I can't remember it.
Biker Mice from Mars. That was, and Captain Planet, I think might have been Saturday morning sometimes. And then there was this other one that I watched, and I don't think anybody has ever told me that they know this show, but Bucky O'Hare.
Oh, I know that one. I think from my British roommates from back in the day. I actually think that they watched that.
So Bucky O'Hare.
One time we did like a Saturday morning like night where we just watched a bunch of YouTube intros.
We're gonna do Saturday morning at night.
Whoa.
I like that.
Like it was like sorry. I should have said Saturday. We did like an old school cartoons night where we just watched old cartoon intros.
Yeah.
That Bucky O'Hare definitely came up. It was either my girlfriend or them. Yeah. It wasn't me, but it was one of them, and I'm sure it was them because they brought a lot of like British cartoon shows that I did not know at all. I was like, whoa, what's this? You know? Like one was like Punky Brewster. Did you ever watch that one?
Punky? No, but
Punky Brewster's a weird like British. I think it's British, maybe it's not, but it's just like a cartoon show I never watched. But
that reminds me of Rocko's Modern Life.
Oh yeah,
because his pet was Spunky.
Spunky.
I think it was Spunky, right? At the end of the film.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Spunky. Oh man, yeah. Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah, I mean,
those are the days.
I remember. So I had a lot of shows. I guess I'm also kind of thinking about like the schedule of watching TV. I remember waking up really early in the morning to watch Barney. So it was a big thing.
Oh yeah.
I remember waking up early to watch Barney, but then it would go Barney, Art Attack, and then right when Art Attack finished, do you remember he used to do that big like mural at the end of Art Attack? And then you would look up at the camera? Yeah. I remember that. He's got his salt or whatever on a big black canvas or something, where he's got his gym things that make a giant photo. Yeah. And then he'd look up at the camera and the episode would end, and then I had to go to school. I remember that, like, so every morning was consecutive. He's like, we wake up, it's like, boom, Barney, and then Art Attack, and then I'm gone. You know, I have my bagel and I'm good. It's funny, because I'm in like grade 2 or something, and for something that I was so like intense about that schedule. Yeah. And then I remember at night, there was, and they weren't cartoons, so it's not really relevant. But I remember there was Seinfeld, Frasier, Becker. And that would come on starting at like 9 o'clock at night. It was like, I can't remember what channel, but Seinfeld, Frasier, Becker. And I would watch all 5 of those, then go to bed. So I remember it'd be late, and then I would be going to bed. And it was just like, that was my shows. You know, you'd watch them, go, all right, there we go, and I'm off to bed. And I remember they were each in different seasons. So it'd be like Seinfeld, 2 totally different seasons, and Frasier, 2 totally different seasons, then Becker. Yeah. And then just go on that way. But no, so I remember the Gummy Bears. Show? Do you remember the Gummy Bear show? No. Oh, they had this awesome theme song. It was like, Gummy Bears. They got so into it. Gummy Bears.
I remember Care Bears.
I didn't watch Care Bears. That's the weird thing. I saw Gummy Bears. I never watched Care Bears.
Weird.
I saw...
Rainbow Bright? No. I can just toss out a whole bunch of 80s and 90s cartoons.
Well, a lot of people watch Smurfs, and I never watched Smurfs.
I never watched Smurfs.
I watched something else that was similar to Smurfs, but I didn't watch Smurfs.
I didn't watch Smurfs either. I watched the raccoons. Is that there was a cartoon about raccoons. I think they wore T-shirts. I can't remember what they are now.
You ever watch Franklin?
And they were like anteaters. Sorry?
You ever watch Franklin?
I did watch Franklin.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love Franklin.
And also...
Arthur?
Yeah, Arthur, yeah. No, there was one with a rabbit.
Looney Tunes?
No, there's one with like a
Tiny Tunes.
bunny or a rabbit or something.
Lola from Space Jam.
No.
Because not Bugs Bunny from Space Jam.
No, it's just like a No. Oh, I gotta remember this.
No.
He's got like a kite. He's flying a kite or something.
A rabbit with a kite.
Oh my god, it's not Franklin, is it? Does Franklin have a friend who's a rabbit?
Yeah.
What's the Franklin theme song then?
I don't know. I can only hear Arthur now.
Damn it.
Franklin theme song.
There's one I used to sing all the time, and I think it might be the Franklin theme song if Franklin has a rabbit friend, or it was a theme song about a rabbit. Oh, I can't remember. Anyways, it doesn't matter. But yeah, there is something magical about those shows, and unfortunately now that we've gotten older, they're gone. Unfortunately, they're gone. But I gotta tell you, I don't think the kids are missing out. I think the kids have more content today than less. So even though they don't have the same experience we had with our Saturday morning cartoons, there's definitely something relative.
They probably have something exactly.
They have something very similar. I'm sure they go, oh, I remember the days when I used to go to this YouTube playlist and I would watch this, and then this, and this, and this, and then I was going to bed. Or something where it's
yeah.
like, you're like, oh, that's not the same, but it's very similar. I understand how you did that, you know?
PewDiePie Tuesdays or something. Yeah.
Dude, PewDiePie's actually rocking it today. Like, I've been watching his videos and I was like, he's actually funny. Like, I used to hate this guy.
Yeah,
I
okay.
used to see a PewDiePie video was on, I'm like, oh my god. Like, it was just for the kids, you know? I watch him now, and he was doing a review on Starship Troopers, and I was like, yes, please.
Whoa.
And like everything he said about it, I was just like, you are God. Like, it sounded like it was me talking. I was like, I love you right now. Like, so I don't know. I don't know what happened, but he's just talking real talk to the camera, and I like it.
Cool.
I like it a lot. So I gotta say, PewDiePie, I had him pegged wrong, I think. Maybe he was being fake for a bit of his career and then stopped or something, because what I thought he was, he's not at all. So,
Well, I mean, he's been in the career for a while. Eventually, you'll probably change. Like, based on the things like
I think he's had all the fakeness stripped down.
Sure.
He's just raw PewDiePie now, or whatever his real name is. Can't remember. But
Pewdie.
Pewdie. But anyways, I didn't think I'd say PewDiePie that many times on a podcast, but I have now.
Yep.
And I'll say it one more time. PewDiePie.
Yep.
Okay, so is that your topic? Are you done? Oh, no, Sabrina Teenage Witch.
Well, no, I mean, that was just another reference because...
Do these things still exist? Oh, God, we are
experienced, which was crossed out, and it used to say, oh, God, we are old.
Yeah.
I think, right?
Gummy bears.
But I think experience is the more politically correct way of saying old.
Oh, I did want to mention,
Yeah.
I used to watch Flintstones and Jetsons all the time.
Ooh, yeah.
And then there was
Tintin?
one... Oh, Tintin, yeah, Tintin.
Yeah.
And then there was a show that came on all the time that my dad used to watch when he was a kid. So when it came on, I would watch it. And I was like, oh, and it was like this weird experience. The show was called Wacky Races.
Oh.
Did you used to watch that?
No.
I think, I could be wrong, but I think it's Hanna-Barbera.
Okay.
No, it must be, because it's like Hanna-Barbera characters all put together.
Huh.
Because like they do this giant race, and it's got all the racers set up at the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
And they do a huge race, and they go through all these crazy experiences during the race. Am I wrong in thinking that like the Scooby-Doo characters were in it? Like everyone had like their own car and unique characters, and then get to the race. Maybe it wasn't.
There's one where there's like a boy and a dog, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I just know they were other characters that were all together in the show, I believe.
Yeah.
And then they would get to the end, and somebody wins. We don't know who it's going to be. It's going to be somebody. We don't know who it's going to be, right? So it's like, it was always really interesting. So I'd love watching the show because who's going to win? Of course, I also watched Roadrunner. I used to love Roadrunner. I wasn't big on was that Looney Tunes?
Yeah.
I wasn't I didn't watch a lot of the Looney Tune shows, but Roadrunner I watched a lot. I don't know why, but that one must have been on a lot.
Yeah.
It was just great.
That was a good
Love
show.
Roadrunner. That was a classic show.
I don't know why I missed this one out, but Xmen, the animated series, that was a Saturday morning cartoon for me. And I'm not sure if Spiderman was. I feel like I watched Spiderman after school. But anyway.
I think I watched X-Men more than Spider-Man, but I did watch a lot of Spider-Man. Because I remembered a lot of the 90s show for sure.
Yeah.
That was good. I actually watched a lot of the 60s Spider-Man too, because that one came on all the time.
Oh, that's right, it did. Yeah. Yeah.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Bring the web and he's done. There's a disease just like flies. Watch out. Here comes the spider.
Yeah.
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 It would like fade to black.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a good show. Or was it? Yeah, it was.
I think it was.
Cartoons. They were good. Cartoons are good.
Yeah.
We need to almost have like a podcast where we just talk cartoons.
We should have a Saturday morning cartoon night.
I love it. Let's do it.
Okay.
We should watch intros. Oh, that'd be great.
Just intros. Not even the rest of the episode.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the intros do it. The intros, that's the thing about
once
Saturday
you
morning
hear the
cartoons. The intro tells you the story of the cartoon in the intro. It always shows you clips from the show, and they like show the villain, they show like the characters, the heroes. They might show you the love interest and a moment that happens, and you're like, oh, I wonder when that episode happens. You know, you get all excited. Sailor Moon always did that. They showed Tuxedo Mask for a second. It's like, when are they going to get together?
Yeah.
And you're like, ah! Then the villain would come in and be like, ah!
Yeah.
I don't remember the Sailor Moon theme song. Sailor Moon, Sailor Moon does whatever a Sailor Moon does.
Yeah. I get fighting evil by moonlight, winning love by daylight. Running for a real fight, she is the one named Sailor Moon. Anyway, yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, the guitar, remember? It does like a solo. It comes in the middle, like,
Yeah.
it does this, yeah, it's weird.
Okay, wait. Favorite Sailor Scout, go.
Oh, the Jupiter.
Okay, cool. Me?
Long hair brunette with the green on. Green's my favorite color.
That looks like your girlfriend. No, it doesn't.
I think it's her favorite actually as well.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I liked her and I liked Mercury, but I didn't like Mercury's personality.
Okay.
And of course, we're dudes, so this is what we're thinking about.
I just realized,
What?
for some reason, they use blue to be like the nerdy person who comes out of their shell. Because Mercury was my favorite Sailor Scout.
Oh, okay.
I just thought she was like something about her personality I just was into.
Interesting.
But then at the same time, so she's the nerdy one who's kind of shy, and then eventually she probably comes out of her shell and is a little bit more like extroverted.
Angry all the time.
No, that's Mars.
Oh,
Fiery.
Oh, yes, you're right. I'm sorry, I got the wrong one. Yep. I still like Jupiter.
Okay, all right. But then Power Rangers, the blue one, was also the nerdy one who was very shy and eventually had to like have an episode for them to come out of the shell. So I wonder why blue, because like they're blue, like they're down in blue. And, like,
Who's the blue Ninja Turtle?
Leonardo? He's the leader.
Was he nerdy?
No, that's the purple one.
Who was the
Donatello.
blue Captain Planet?
The way
character?
I'm sorry, I can't not tangent, but when you were like, was he nerdy? Was I think it's season 1 of Friends when Monica is she has this guy over at like testing out her food, so she's making food for him, and she's making.
Is it dirty?
He wants to. He wants her to make a salad.
Yeah.
Like, is it dirty? Like, oh no, it's washed. Or I can wash it. Like, don't. I like it dirty. I could tangent for.
Are you gonna cut the tomatoes? What did she say? She's like, I was gonna rosé.
How are you gonna cut them?
How are you gonna cut them? What did she say?
I don't know, something. And then she's like, I'm gonna Juliet, and he's like,
Juliet. That's it.
Yeah. That's it. I'm out.
Yeah, no, good show.
Man.
Friends. We'll always bring it back to either Friends or Minecraft. Somehow it'll get back to either one of those.
Yeah, definitely.
It's spinner time.
All right.
Time to spin the wheel of scum. If you had a lisp during this show, it really wouldn't go well. The Scumm Bar.
The wheel of scum.
The Scumm Bar spinner.
I think it'd be okay.
And we're going to roll the dice again because I'm kind of into rolling the dice right now. So we're going to do that. So why don't I go through the list here first?
Okay.
So we got the Pirate Adventure. We got Shakespeare and a BR. We got a Parlay Okay. Sorry, that's how it's written. So we got Parlay Okay. A Hunting Tale of Woe. Who Wants to Be a Scum Millionaire? And Swashbuckler. Last week we did Squashbuckler. We were really bad at it. So let's see what we get this time. Anth0z, roll the dice. And let's see what game we get. You got a 4,
right.
which is a Hunting Tale of Woe, which we haven't done yet.
Uh-oh.
So, Hunting Tale of Woe.
Uh-oh.
What?
Anything new is scary. That's all.
You're so scared. Don't worry. They're games. They're fun.
Okay.
Okay. Roll the dice. Don't do it yet.
Oh,
but
okay.
Roll the dice. If the number is higher than a 3, Anth0z will tell Mattbrush a scary story. If lower than a 3, Mattbrush tells the story.
Wait, like 3 or lower? Because otherwise...
You're right, yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
because
yes,
otherwise
yes,
like
you're
there's
right,
more
3 or
chance for
lower,
one
yes.
of... Yeah, okay.
I wrote that weird. Mattbrush tells the story. The other person has to say one word to inspire the story. These are not long stories, by the way. You're not making a novel. Not the great American novel. You're just making a story. Okay? So are you ready to roll this dice?
Yeah.
Or die?
Like, am I ready to roll it or die? those are my options. I either roll it or I die.
Exactly. Whichever one you want to do.
Okay.
You go ahead.
Well, I'm gonna roll the die.
Oh!
Wait, what does this mean?
So that means I have to tell the story. You got a 2 for the audience at home. Okay, so Anth0z, give me one word, and I will tell you my story of woe.
Flower.
Okay. It was a dark winter night. I stared outside of my window pane. And there was a man standing silhouetted against the rain. It was like a cold, harsh rain. It's kind of snowy. And this man was staring back at me, and all I could see was just his white eyes. So I decided to go outside and go greet this man to bring him inside my home. When I opened my door, the cold wind burst the door right open. Yes, exactly. And I fell back, tumbling onto the floor. There's snow and there's rain and everything just falling inside the house. I gathered myself. I got up, brushed all this stuff off me. I had rain and snow and everything on me. And I got to the door. And the door's kind of swinging a little bit. I had to stable myself with the door and stable the door. And look out. Outside, the man is gone. But where the man was is one single flower. I slammed the door, thinking, wow, that was strange. I turn around. White eyes. The end. That's the end. How'd you like my story?
I have a question.
What?
Did you say you stapled the door?
Stabled myself with the door, I think is what I said.
Okay. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure.
I think I stabled myself with the door and then stabled the door. I think is what I said. Yeah. I think I said something like that. I don't know. In case anyone's curious, we're just improvising. So
That was good. I'm glad I didn't do that because I would not have been able to tell any kind of story whatsoever.
I'm sure you would have done a lot better than you thought because it's not like I knew what I was going to say. It just kind of said it.
Mine just probably would have been like, I opened the cupboard and there was flour.
Oh, that would have been great doing a twist on it. Just for everybody wondering at home too, we've come up with the idea, and we won't do it yet, but I think eventually one day we'll do this as like a joke. Maybe if we roll I'm just throwing this idea out here, but let's say we like picked a number. We're like, okay, well if you roll a 5,
Yeah.
then if you roll again and it happens to be an odd number or something like that, then we'll do this one thing. And the one thing we're talking about is where Anth0z and I both tell the story at the exact same time. But keep in mind, it's improvised. So if that happens, we have to stare at each other and figure out the words we're trying to say as we're saying them. So it's a very famous improv sketch thing that you do normally. So we would just do that as we're looking at each other.
And we're telling our own stories, right? Yeah.
Well, we would just make up the story as it goes, right? So if it was flour, we would just do it at the time. So anyways, that's something we will eventually do one day. Maybe next time we do this game, we'll pitch that one bonus number that it could happen.
All right.
At. So
Cool.
Anyways, Haunting Tale of Woe.
All right.
Yeah, we're knocking these out. We've done Swashbuckler, Scum Millionaire, Haunting Tale of Woe. We've done Parlay OK. We've done Shakespeare in VR. We still haven't done Pirate Adventure. I bring the sheet every time, and we still haven't done it.
What's that one again?
Pirate Adventure. Well, it's a twist.
Okay.
You don't get to know what it is.
All right, I'll find out.
I think I've purposely been very vague about Pirate Adventure.
Okay.
All I said was no. Actually, I didn't even say the description of it. I haven't said anything.
That's how vague you were.
That's how vague I was. In case anybody needs to know, I do bring a lot of materials for all these games in case they happen, and only one happens out of the 6. So
Yeah.
The rest of the materials get all sad and they have to stay. Especially my Shakespeare books, they get very sad.
But at least they're together.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
Yeah, at least they are together.
Yep.
Macbeth, he's kind of angsty, but he's he's happy enough.
He's at that age.
He's happy enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's getting to that age. But Romeo and Juliet, they're fine. They can do whatever they want. All right, so it's on to my topic. I'm gonna give you my topic here.
All right, dear.
My topic that I'm gonna share for you is the little old. What would you like to see in the next gen consoles? Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony, when they're making next gen consoles. Which last week we were talking about how PlayStation 4 is now, or Sony is now developing PlayStation 5. I just have a question because this is one thing that I think gamers have struggled with, including myself.
Mm-hmm.
What the heck are we even wanting in the next console? Because PlayStation 4 has been great. So is Xbox One. So is even Switch for that matter.
Yeah.
They've all been good. They got great graphics, and I believe that their processing power has been good enough, fairly decent. Their online communities are all pretty good. We're starting to get to a point where we're now cross-compatible. But What are we hoping for? Oh yeah, and I guess a big thing too is 4K. Most of them are compatible with 4K in some way, shape, or form. It might not be 60 frames per second, but it's 30 usually, and sometimes it is 60 in 4K. But since resolutions haven't like gone crazy and 3D still kind of in the ether and VR is still kind of out and about in development,
Oot and a boot.
in development. What are we hoping for? What do we want?
What are we?
Yeah, what are you looking for? At least let's go down the line. Let's take Nintendo out of that real quick, and let's just do Microsoft and Sony.
Darn. Okay.
Well, because I know you'll have something for Nintendo.
I do.
For sure. Because they're more unique, anyways. But let's just say Microsoft, Sony, since they're more together. What would you want, or what would you expect for them? I guess in the future.
Well, okay. You know what? The thing I was going to say for Nintendo technically could just be applied to all of them regardless.
Okay, well then go ahead and just do the Nintendo one. That's fine.
Okay, so it's because it's more of just where we are now. Like I see a lot more potential for VR games, regardless of what platform you're on, right? So I want to take it a little bit further back. Nintendo is what inspired me to think about this, but do you remember the Nintendo Glove?
Oh, Power Glove.
With Power Glove.
Yeah.
So the glove itself.
Now you're playing with power.
And I remember the glove specifically because I loved watching the movie The Wizard.
Did you watch that? Super Mario Bros. 3. That's how everybody saw Super Mario Bros. 3.
Oh, I love that movie. And just watching them play, like, and actually do the secret part to, like, to go through the back of the level so you can run and skip through everything. Anyway, so, yeah, like, the typical bad blonde kid, he's the one that had the glove. But the glove itself, I don't remember how it worked completely, but I know it probably had the like the D-pad plus all the buttons, so like directional pad and on the buttons for like jumping and attacking, whatever you need. But could you also command or make commands based on your hand movement at all?
Yes.
Okay, so
it's supposed to be motion compatible as well.
Right. So what I would want, or what I do want, is for them to bring back the glove, except that the glove would be more for integrated into the VR universe. So, you know, right now, like, you have to have controllers regardless.
Right.
So the controller will have, like, analog, and then the buttons and whatever, and then maybe, like, a lanyard for your hand so that it doesn't just fall out of your hand, like the controller itself. So, but what I want is to have gloves that actually... like, you don't have buttons on the glove, you don't press anything on the glove, but it's all motion sensitive. So, excuse me. So you would use, either you can use tapping specific fingers, or tapping part of your palm, or making a fist, or just doing whatever motion. But I want it to be fully integrated with just using your glove, and that's how you make all your actions. Because I mean, with the Switch already, the controllers, the Joy-Cons, and even before that, the Wiimotes, everything was already motion sensitive.
Yeah.
Right? But not to the extent where, if you were to grip your fingers, you would see your character gripping their fingers. You would reach out and grab a digital sword, and you could actually, maybe you wouldn't feel it. Oh, but you could feel it. That'd be kind of cool. Joy-Cons already have...
the weight displacement?
The weight displacement, yeah. So if you've got that in the glove, that'd be really cool. So just the idea of really immersing yourself in VR, rather than holding onto these little sticks, these rods that are the controllers. If you have gloves on your hands, you're not holding a controller, you're wearing the controller. You are the controller now. I feel like that would be a cool next step towards really immersing yourself in a VR world before we have to have full-on bodysuits that motion capture absolutely everything and integrate us into the game. Because I think that's a little bit further down the road.
Right.
But the glove itself, to me, was always this iconic controller that was so cool when Nintendo brought it out. And then it kind of just that was that, and they never had it again.
So you want to really incorporate touch into VR.
Yeah, but I just feel like you would be able to use a lot of motion capture stuff just with the gloves alone anyway. Adding the touch sensitive part would be cool too. The weight displacement is your...
Yeah, I mean, like you said, looking at your hands and being able to just independently move each finger.
Yeah.
That alone would be so immersive. That'd be amazing. I mean, I already find VR very immersive.
It really is. Yeah.
But yeah, that would really get you there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just being able to do those motions. I mean, for me, looking at my hands, that's a major thing. For playing piano and all that. Yeah, the kinetics of my fingers and all that, and having that in VR, especially if there was a virtual piano, if I could actually play my keyboard from home, but wear a VR headset and imagine and in the VR, you're in a simulation now where you're playing the piano in front of like an audience that's virtualized, you know? Maybe a Guitar Hero kind of style game but for piano, but yeah, being able to see each finger movement as I'm going down the keys. Wow. Like, I have to say, I'd be playing piano like every single day at that point because that'd be so fun.
Yeah. I actually, sorry, do you mind if I say one more?
Go ahead.
Because you reminded me when you brought up instruments, but I feel like maybe they're trying to do something like that with Labo. I haven't experimented or looked into Labo that much.
That's the
Nintendo thing.
Yeah.
But did you ever play Mario Paint?
No, I've seen that because they have the music creation.
So there's a few aspects to it, but one is the music creation thing. And I think it would be kind of cool if you could have your own instrument that you use to pretty much like play and record into a game.
Oh yeah.
So
MIDI would be great. Any kind of MIDI stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Anything would be fine. Like for Mario Paint specifically, like you would have the staff, and in order to create notes, you would, I don't think it's like a drag and drop. Like you would just select a specific icon, and it just has its own timbre of notes, like based on the scale.
Yeah.
So you would just like click and add it in.
Yeah.
But it'd be cool if you could like real time play like Mario Paint, but you're using your guitar to like strum the chords, and it's in there, and then
it just writes it as you play it.
Yeah. Because like, actually that would be a really cool next step, and then that would also help with games like DDR, like Dance Dance Revolution, or Beat Saber that they have for Oculus Rift now. Like there's all these music games. I think some of those games you already have the freedom to create your own game. So it would be sorry, not your own, but your own song. So the way that the arrows show up in the game, you can do that based on the rhythm of the song, the melody, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But if you can do that live, like using your instruments, it'd be so much more integrative. Like I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, I agree. That would be cool. I mean, like that's the first thing I thought of when you were talking about your VR. The first thing I went to was piano.
Okay.
Because that would be fantastic. I do think the seeing your fingers, that's incredible. That would be a cool way of expanding VR.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that's more of an Oculus thing that we're going to see, or Vive, for the VR technologies. As far as Nintendo goes, I honestly think Nintendo's just going to do more of what Nintendo's doing. I think they're trying to blend their handheld and their not Switch, their handheld and their Wii U. I think they were trying to blend together with Switch, right? So I think we'll see another iteration of the Switch. I think we'll see some kind of Switch Mini or something, which is more along the lines of having a handheld with you, but then also a home console port. So I don't think Nintendo will see crazy strides in the future yet, because I think they're still finding themselves and they're trying to blend their audiences into one, which is going to be a bit of a long haul for them. With Microsoft and Sony, this is why I asked this question, is because this is so boring of an answer to me, but I honestly think more processing power, which we don't really need. I think our games are doing pretty well, but more processing power, I guess, so that they're running faster and we can get everything at 60 frames per second. And have large, expansive worlds where the developers are not constrained by anything. That's always a good thing, especially if you can have a PC version and a console version that are the exact same, instead of having a PC one that's running a little bit better, or the developers had a bit more stuff they could put into the PC one. I'd rather everything be equal if they could. So processing power, I guess, and then the last thing would be an online community, or an online system that is working very well. And I think Xbox actually does this already really, really well. So I don't think Xbox needs to do much more. I think they're already large strides at this, but I think Sony just needs to kick up their game on the online system a bit more for PS5. We're seeing an experience that is no better than like an Android app store. It's really that, but actually probably a little bit worse than that. And it's not bad, but it's not amazing. It's just sort of middle ground. And I think for my money for a PS5, I'd really like to see that upgraded quite a bit more. But we're just, I don't know, we're at a time where games are great. I don't need another console yet. But the games matter to me. So if those developers need more, then give them more. But I don't know what else they'll need. There's quite a lot of tools out there for them. So, and I do a lot of developing myself on PC. And I mean, my games are 2D games that are usually pixel art. Nothing too crazy. I don't release anything. I just do a lot of developing. I'm working on something now to release, hopefully, for the next year or so. But we already have a lot of tools available, and the consoles that we have out there are great for what I'm trying to release, at least. So I mean, I don't know. The expand the threshold is all you can really do, but I don't see much more need for it, because when I play AAA studio games, they're looking good already, and I think it's more a gameplay element that they're missing, not necessarily graphics or constraints for like level sizes or anything like that. So
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think I totally misinterpreted your question because I think I was going the route towards.
No, you did fine.
More like,
Yeah.
well, because mine's more of like.
It's a very ambiguous question, so.
I guess so. It sounds to me like you were kind of you were actually more specific to what you want to come out of the console itself. But I think I went the route of like what I want to see from the company in terms
No,
of
I mean, that's
like,
totally
innovation.
fine.
But
there's nothing wrong with that. That's
Okay.
totally fine. I mean, it's so up in the air because we don't know at all what the consoles will do. So I mean,
Yeah.
what would you like to see is really all the question is now because. What can they do, really? I mean,
Okay.
you can't say 8K because you're like, well, why would the console do 8K? There's no reason for that, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
they're not going to suddenly be like an 8K console.
well, okay, let me ask you because
Or the numbers game. And the numbers game is boring. Nobody's like, oh, well, double the hard drive. You know, that's
Yeah.
just boring. Nobody likes that. So
okay,
Yeah.
let me pose this question. So, because the way I see our answers, mine was a little bit more of like, not that one or the other is better. It's just like different ways of answering the question and different concepts. So mine was more like like I said, like what I would want to see from the company itself in terms of like how to immerse the person into the player into the games more. And yours was more of like kind of like linear development of what could come from consoles, because like the next step is usually just like bigger, better, faster sort of thing. But if you could maybe without having that kind of stuff in mind, if you could have like, how can I pose this? Like for your next gaming experience, if you could have like the most ideal way for you to play it, or like whatever you think would be like the best next innovation for gaming, what would it be?
I don't know. Like, it really depends on the game.
Okay.
I'm a hard person to ask on that because I do like Minecraft style of game where it's much more up to the player how the game is running.
Right.
So you're talking more about an engine than it is the game.
Okay. Yeah.
I think what games are lacking today is good stories
okay.
or good mechanics for the player.
Okay.
I think a lot of like when you see a new game for a series that's been around for a while come out, the big worry is that, they spent so much time on graphics that the story's probably going to be condensed
Right.
and the gameplay's going to be less. I feel like that's the feeling I always have when a new game, like Phantom Pain comes out from Metal Gear Solid, and I'm like, oh, damn, did they put so much in the graphics that the gameplay's going to be lacking? Turns out I was wrong, thank God, but... It can happen, though. It can happen really, really easily. And we see that with a lot of games, especially when it came to 3D. When games went to 3D, we saw a lot of them missing out on their gameplay. That's why when PlayStation 1 came out and when N64 came out, we saw a lot of remakes that were just bad. A lot of remakes that people were like, no, that one's... No, we don't talk about that one, you know? That just happened a lot because when the developers have to spend so much more time on a new engine and everything like that, we lose the heart of the game. I think it's why we see a lot of great games come at the end of a life cycle for a console. Like Last of Us coming out at the end of the life cycle for a console, right?
Right. Now that they've worked out the kinks of like really utilizing the engine,
Exactly.
they can focus on other stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
and Grand Theft Auto 5 coming out right at the end of PlayStation 3, you know? And so I think that's why we see that, because gameplay is what matters way more to me. Gameplay, and if a game has a great story, it'll hook me for sure.
Yeah.
But Minecraft is my favorite game because I make the decisions. I'm the one who chooses everything in that game, and that's what I like. So for me, I just want the developers to be able to make the game that they want to make. I hate these stories where they say 80% of what you want in the game will not be in the game by the end, by the release. And that makes me angry because I want developers to make what they want to make.
Yeah.
And right now, developing, my roommate and I, we come up with ideas and we're like, how can we make that? Oh, we'll try it. And we tried making it, it didn't work. Or, hey, it worked great and we got to do even more than what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, wow, that was easy. Let's continue that. Let's work more on that idea. Let's mold that down. And I want that for developers. But we live in a world right now where everybody needs the release by September, before Christmas, and they need the advertisements to come out by July.
Yeah.
And it's just sad because these developers don't get the game that they want out. And I think that we're missing that kind of stuff. And in games like Minecraft, where it's made by an indie studio or an indie company or one guy, Stardew Valley or Starbound or actually The Witness, which came out from, I can't remember the guy's name right now, but just like a singular person being able to put their heart and their soul and every idea they want into their game. We see great quality games, just really good, but they're not necessarily focused on the graphics because they spend way more time on what's the gameplay like.
Right.
And it really makes these AAA studios look dumb in the end. You play the newest Assassin's Creed and you go, what the hell is this? Meanwhile, Stardew Valley made by one guy, and you're like, whoa, this game is so much more, it's so full of depth.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't, my answer is boring because I don't have something new to give anybody. I just say I think more time for the developers is better. Give people patience and stop the gamers from just like as the game community, the gamer community, they want they complain that these developers rush games, but then they're so quick to judge game studios for not releasing games soon enough. Rockstar is a perfect example of that. Grand Theft Auto 5 to Red Dead Redemption 2, it's like a 5-year leap. And they're making fun of them because they used to release so many games back in the day.
Yeah.
And now they're like, oh, it's been 5 years since the last release. It's like, well, I mean, come on. They got to make a good game. Like, why rush them?
Yeah, exactly.
So much rather wait for a good game than get a bad game early. You know? Like, so all I want is time for the developers. That's it.
Yeah. No,
we have the hardware. I could care less about more hardware. I just want time.
Yeah. No, that's a totally fair answer. I actually agree with you because, like, yeah, we're at that point where if we see any kind of upgrades to, the hardware, so like speed, like all that kind of stuff, like, is it really going to make that much of a difference while we play the game? Yeah, exactly.
Some of my favorite games are from the 90s, so why does it matter?
Yeah.
Age of Empires 2, fantastic game. Ran well back then, runs well now.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter.
Like for one of my favorite games, Super Mario RPG. Like,
yeah, exactly. We talked about last time. Yeah, that can run on like anything right now.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. Like, taking more time to really work out the not just the mechanics, but like the story, like how the characters are really meant to be, like from beginning to end.
And fantastic story, and most people played it back then, loved the story, and then play it now and still love the story. And it's a good game with a good story. And we don't see games today try to make that story. Final Fantasy 15, in comparison, came out 2 years ago. And the story lacked because they released the game too early. The studio felt the pressures of having to release the game, and they forced the developers to have to release it. And because of that, it's missing, I think, like 2 chapters at the end of the game, or a chapter at the end of the game. So it's literally missing like its ending that they wanted to have.
Oh.
And because of that, they have to make an anime, and they had to make a movie that like expands out the story, right? So now the audience goes, well, I played the game and it's lacking a story. And then the other person goes, oh, well, if you watch the anime and the movie, then it makes a bit more sense. And then you go, really? Like, I can't just play the game and get the story, because that's what it is. We're just in a dumb time. We're feeling the strains of money and finance and speeding out your games. 2008 was not a good time for gaming. It delayed PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 3's life cycle and Xbox 360's life cycle, and screwed up a lot of companies for their games that they were trying to release. So I think that when the housing market crashed, it caused this weird ripple where PlayStation 3 was now in a long life cycle. We're used to like 5 or less life cycle for years for the consoles. Then we went up to PlayStation 3 and 360, which is like 2006 and 2005 for their years of releasing. And then 2013 for the next-gen consoles?
Yeah.
So it's a ridiculous amount of time. And because of that, gamers got crazy. And I think we've stayed crazy ever since. And we're getting worse, I think. So I've jumped out of it. I stopped going on to any kind of Reddit or forum or anything like that stuff for video games. So if anything I'm saying right now, nobody has to, think that I'm getting this from online or anything. I barely look at video game information anymore. I listen to one podcast now about video gaming, and that's it. And the rest of it is all just whatever I do personally. So, because I can't do it anymore. I can't complain about all this crap because at the end of the day, I want the developers to have what they have. So,
yeah. And I think you can sympathize too, because now you're in that seat where you're developing.
And
games,
I know a lot of developers here in Vancouver as well too, and see what they have to go through. And the games that are successful are usually one guy with the heart and the passion to just make it happen and not have constraints of money. Usually these people have full-time jobs. They're outside of gaming because they know what it's like to have to live and not have to worry about their paycheck of gaming. So
I think that's one thing that really makes a big difference is from the consumer's perspective, and from the consumer to sympathize with the producer, like the creators and the developers, like for them to actually be put in their situation. It's not even just with games, but just technology in general, because I think there was a time when phones, however many generations, were just getting pushed out, but they would be released, and then a week later you'd have to get an update because like the phone actually wasn't ready. Like
the day one patch.
The software wasn't even ready to go with it, and so
gaming and phones, the same thing with that, right? The day one patch, that's so common.
Yeah,
it's sad. So I guess hey, maybe that's what we're saying for next gen consoles. Don't do that. Next gen consoles, what I would love to see them advertise in the box is, we gave the developers more time. We didn't do anything. We just gave the developers more time to make their games. No, I just. Yeah, it's not a very attractive answer, but I think that's
no, I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way too.
Yeah.
Must be.
Well, I've been through the PlayStation 2 generation, PlayStation 3 generation, PlayStation 4 generation,
Yeah.
and now we're heading into the PlayStation 5 generation. I feel like I have the experience enough to say that this one feels different.
Okay.
It definitely feels different. I feel like less people are on board at this point. And I know they haven't done much. We haven't seen the announcements. We haven't seen the games yet, so we're not really there yet. But testing the waters, it feels different. Because I believe most people are like, well, I like the console I have, right? Then again, a lot of people bought their PS3s and their Xbox 360s right in 2013. Like, right at the end. They went, oh, they're cheap now. You know, I don't care. I'll just buy it now. I'll jump on now. So,
Yeah.
there's different strokes for different folks. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well,
right.
question of the day. We didn't write one down. I thought you had one, but maybe I'm confused because maybe you made that a topic.
Yeah, that ended up being a topic.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's fine. Let's come up with a question of the day. What do you think?
Actually, well, I kind of like the idea of sticking with something related to the video games because this seemed to be a really, really good topic. But maybe something between like one or the other. So what do you prefer more in a game? Like more story? Like better story or better, what would you say? Like
Gameplay?
mechanics, gameplay.
Yeah, gameplay's fine. Yep. Better story, better gameplay.
So story versus gameplay.
Minecraft, zero story.
Yeah.
All gameplay.
All gameplay.
Metal
But
Gear
still so
Solid?
fun, right?
Metal Gear Solid, not Phantom Pain, but let's say earlier Metal Gear Solid, like Metal Gear Solid 4, is not zero gameplay, but lower on the gameplay scale for sure.
Yeah.
And very high on story. Like we're talking like there's like an hour-long cutscene, so
Yeah.
like high on story. And those two, which is hilarious, are part of my like top 5 for video games.
Yeah.
So there's a variation in like how it can make a huge difference.
Yeah.
But it also depends on the developer. But anyways, yeah, that's a good question. I like that question a lot. So
Maybe we should specify because I feel like it's just very broad. Like just to say like what do you prefer?
what do you prefer? And give us an example.
Yeah, exactly. Example. Because otherwise, like how would you really describe what it is you're?
That's a good question. I like that a lot. Okay, cool. That's it. All right.
All right.
Anth0z, where can the audience find you?
Well, if you really want to, you can find
I think
me.
they do.
Oh,
I think they do.
but they haven't told me.
Oh, okay.
Nobody's found me yet.
Oh, okay. Well, when they do, you'll
I
know.
don't know. Well, I'm just gonna keep telling them where to find me so that they can find me,
Good.
and then I will know.
Okay.
So
Harass him.
please find me. No, don't harass me. Please find me on Twitter.
Tweet there.
At Anth0z1. That is at ANTH0Z1.
Awesome. You can find me at Mattbrush Gaming at Twitter and Mattbrush Gaming on YouTube. I also post the Scumm Bar Podcast on YouTube. All the videos there are just the audio from this with a little visualizer, so you can go ahead and rewatch the podcast, maybe open up a different tab, do whatever else you're doing while the podcast is on there for a video visualizer. If you would like to contact us, you can email us at thescummbarpodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on like any podcasting service.
We're everywhere.
iTunes, Spotify. We're on
Spotify tunes.
Tunes. We're on Podface, FacePod, Podbean, Stitcher, Twitcher, Litcher,
Witcher,
Flickr, Thinker, Blinker,
Lilo and Stitcher,
Rabbit.io. No, it's Rabbit.com.
Agar.io.
Go to your podcast device right now. Go to the search bar. Type in the ScummBarPodcast.com. No, don't. The Scumm Bar Podcast. Click search. There's us right there. Click us. Follow. Click follow. Okay, you know what you gotta do now? Click 5 stars. 5 stars right away. And then go to the comments and say, this is the best podcast.
This is the bed.
This is the bed.
This is the
This
bed
is the
where
bed
all
that I have
podcasts
made, and
lie.
I will lie in it.
All podcasts lie in this bed.
Due to these two brilliant men. 5 stars. Okay. Please do that because we would love your comments and your feedbacks, and we would love reviews from yous. So please do that because I love 5 stars. It makes me feel good about myself. It makes me feel like I've done a good job today, which I believe I have. And Anth0z, he's done a pretty good job too.
I think it was okay.
Give him a hand on the back. One hand and just rub it slowly
on the
his
back. All right, sure. I like that. Yeah.
Okay, so
Just
tell the back rub.
A little bit more on the right side.
Oh, okay.
My shoulder's sore
yeah.
from dodgeball.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, please leave a comment and review and help others find us, please, because they are out there. They are helpless and they need our help. And let me just say, Inspector Gadget says, "I don't belong anywhere."
Does he actually say that?
No. The reason why is because I was trying to put the photo.
I know,
in
the
thing.
photo didn't
Yeah,
belong
it didn't
anywhere.
work. So then I just said, "I don't belong anywhere."
Yeah. So now he's on
What's
the
the
back.
thing he actually says?
Go
Go,
gadget. something.
Thingamabob.
Go gadget can opener.
Go Gadget Rangers. And with that, we're going to leave you guys. So have a fantastical day. I guess it's a Monday, so love it, enjoy it, be it. Remember the 4th of November. No, I'm sorry, it's the 5th.
Are you sure?
It's the 5th.
What did you write?
I wrote that it releases on the 5th. I'm assuming it's the 5th.
November the 5th.
Remember, the 5th of November, the gunpowder treason and plot. I remember no reason for the gunpowder treason, and something shall be forgot.
Is this poetry?
Yeah, this is the whole slam poetry. I'm just doing my
Slam.
thing. Yeah.
Slamming.
Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam.
Jam.
Come on and slam,
Slam.
and welcome to the jam.
Peanut butter.
You want it, you got it. You want it, baby, you
Just bust
got
a move.
All right. You? You too?